Have you ever wondered how a tiny creature like a honeybee contributes enormously to our ecosystem? Just imagine a world where these humble insects didn't exist. It's a scary thought, isn't it? Honeybees are the unsung heroes of our planet. They buzz around day in and day out, working tirelessly to pollinate our plants. Every third bite of food we eat is a result of their hard work. They're like the little engine that could, chugging away to keep our ecosystem running smoothly. It's a fascinating world, the world of honeybees. A world filled with dedicated workers, protective soldiers, and a queen bee who rules them all. A world where each tiny creature knows its role and performs it with perfection. A world that works in harmony to provide us with the fruits, vegetables, and flowers we love so much. Intriguing, right? Let's take a deeper dive into the world of honeybees. Every honeybee starts its life as a tiny egg, but what happens next? Picture this. Nestled in a honeycomb cell, a minuscule egg waits. This egg, no bigger than a grain of rice, is the first stage in the life cycle of a honeybee. It's a humble beginning for a creature that will soon play a crucial role in our ecosystem. But who lays these tiny eggs? The queen bee, the mother of the hive, is responsible for this. In her lifetime, she can lay up to 1,000,000 eggs. That's right, 1,000,000. She's the only bee in the hive with this privilege, and her main role is to ensure the continuity of the colony. After 3 days, the egg hatches into a larva. This second stage in the life cycle is all about growth. The larva is fed a diet of royal jelly, a protein-rich secretion from worker bees. This diet helps the larva to grow rapidly, increasing its size almost tenfold in just 5 days. Then, the larva transitions into the pupa stage. The cell it resides in is sealed with a wax cap by worker bees. And within this protective cocoon, the pupa undergoes an incredible transformation. Over the next 1 to 2 weeks, it develops eyes, wings, and legs, all the features it needs to become an adult bee. Finally, the adult bee emerges, ready to take on its role in the hive. The type of bee it becomes, worker, drone, or perhaps even a new queen, depends on the diet it received as a larva. Worker bees, the most common, are females that do not reproduce. They are the bees you see buzzing from flower to flower, collecting nectar and pollen. And so, from a tiny egg to a hardworking adult, the honeybee's life cycle is a testament to the marvels of nature. It's a journey of growth, transformation, and service to the hive. A journey that is repeated millions of times within a single hive, ensuring the survival of the colony and the pollination of plants around the world. And that is how a tiny egg transforms into a hardworking honeybee. Within a hive, each bee has a specific job. Have you ever wondered what these roles are? Let's dive in and explore the various roles within the hive, each as important as the other. Firstly, we have the queen bee, the monarch of the hive. She's the largest bee, and her primary role is reproduction. The queen lays up to 2,000 eggs a day. That's right, 2,000, ensuring the survival and growth of the bee colony. She also emits pheromones that keep the hive's social structure in order. Next up, the drone bees. These are the only males in the hive, and their sole purpose is to mate with the queen. They live a life of leisure with no foraging or hive duties to worry about, but it's not all roses for the drones. After their brief romantic escapade with the queen, they meet a rather unfortunate end. Life in the hive is indeed bittersweet. Finally, we have the worker bees, the true laborers of the hive. These are all female and make up the majority of the hive's population. They have a wide array of responsibilities, from foraging for nectar and pollen to making honey, cleaning the hive, taking care of the larvae, and even protecting the hive. Their job is never done. They are the backbone that keeps the hive functioning smoothly. Interestingly, a worker bee's role changes as she ages. Young worker bees, often called nurse bees, stay within the hive taking care of the queen and the larvae. As they grow older, they become foragers, venturing out into the world to gather nectar and pollen. It's a beautifully organized system, each bee knowing exactly what role they need to play at each stage of their life. So, in a hive, every bee counts and has a role to play. From the queen bee laying thousands of eggs to the drone bees, ensuring the continuation of the species, and the worker bees, tirelessly working to maintain the hive. It's a fascinating society, a testament to nature's incredible design. Now that we know the roles, let's understand why honeybees are so important. Honeybees, these tiny winged creatures, are powerhouses when it comes to our ecosystem's balance. They play a paramount role in pollination, the process crucial for plants to reproduce. As bees flit from flower to flower, collecting nectar for their honey, they unwittingly carry pollen on their bodies, transferring it from the male parts of a flower to the female parts. This pollen transfer is what allows plants to produce fruit and seeds. Without this pollination process, many of our favorite fruits, vegetables, and nuts would become scarce. Imagine a world without apples, almonds, cucumbers, or the myriad of other crops that depend on bees. It's not a pretty picture, is it? But it's not just about our food. Honeybees' pollination efforts also significantly contribute to biodiversity. Wild plants, those that create the landscapes of our parks, forests, and even deserts, rely on bees for reproduction. These plants in turn provide habitat and food for a wide array of wildlife. So you see, the honeybee's impact extends far beyond our dinner plates. Moreover, honeybees are the unsung heroes of global economies. They add billions of dollars to the world's economies each year through their pollination services. In fact, the value of pollination by bees is estimated to be around $200 billion worldwide annually. Their importance extends to their byproducts as well. Honey, beeswax, and royal jelly, to name a few, are used in a variety of industries, from food and beverage to cosmetics and pharmaceuticals. Clearly, the humble honeybee is a tiny titan in our world. Their actions ripple out, affecting almost every aspect of our lives, from the food we eat to the beauty we enjoy in nature to the economy we participate in. Without honeybees, our food supply would look drastically different. But it's not just our food supply. Our entire world would be a much less vibrant, less healthy, and less prosperous place without them. But honeybees are facing numerous threats. Do you know what they are? These industrious creatures are under siege from a number of fronts. Firstly, habitat loss is a grave concern. Urbanization and agriculture are shrinking the wild spaces where bees forage for nectar and pollen. This loss of diverse flora means fewer food sources for our buzzing friends, leading to malnutrition and weakened colonies. Secondly, pesticides, especially those known as neonicotinoids, are lethal to bees. These chemicals attack the bees' nervous systems, impairing their ability to navigate and collect food. Finally, climate change is altering seasonal patterns, causing mismatches between when flowers bloom and when bees are active. This results in less food and lower reproduction rates. The consequences of a declining honeybee population are far-reaching, from pollinating plants that make up the food we eat to supporting the growth of wild flora that countless organisms rely on. The survival of honeybees is crucial for our survival. So, we've learned quite a bit about honeybees today, but what can we do to help them? We've delved into the intricate world of honeybees, unraveled their mysteries, and discovered their life cycles. We've seen how each bee plays a pivotal role within the hive and understood the immense value they add to our ecosystem. Yet we also recognize the threats they face, from habitat loss to pesticide exposure. Now it's our turn to act. We can create bee-friendly environments by planting their favorite flowers. Let's refrain from using harmful pesticides that pose threats to their existence. We can also support local beekeepers, who are the guardians of these incredible insects. Imagine if each of us takes these little steps, how much of a difference we could make. The survival of these remarkable creatures is in our hands, and so is the health of our ecosystem. Remember, every small action can make a big difference in the world of honeybees.